Brookland News Live starts right now with breaking news.
And a good Monday, April 13th, 2026. Good to be with you. I'm Jackson Mitchell. We're coming on the air right now with breaking news as President Donald Trump delivered unexpected remarks from the White House after a DoorDasher delivered McDonald's. We want to play it out in full for you. This is just moments ago from the White House. We'll get to the news coming up here in just a moment. Take a listen here.
He was very much against what I'm doing with regard to Iran, and you cannot have a nuclear Iran. Pope Leo would not be happy with the end result. You have hundreds of millions of people dead, and it's not going to happen. So I can't. I think he's very weak on crime and other things. So I'm not. I mean, he went public. I'm just responding to Pope Leo, and you know, his brother is a big MAGA person, and he's a great guy, Louis. And I said I like Louis better than I like the Pope. No, you have to have law and order in our country, and that's what we have now. We have the lowest crime numbers we've had in a long time, despite the fact that many criminals were allowed into our country, but we've gotten a lot of them out. We've done a great job on crime. So we have the lowest murder rate in 125 years, since 1900, the lowest murder rate. So we believe strongly in law and order, and he seemed to have a problem with that, so there's nothing to apologize for. He's wrong. The other thing is he didn't like what we're doing with respect to Iran, but Iran is wants to be a nuclear nation so they can exterminate the world. Not going to happen.
And Mr. President, on Iran, if the deal is not reached by the end of the ceasefire, does your threat from before still stand?
Yeah, I don't want to comment on that, but it won't be pleasant for them. Let me put it that way.
Do you still plan to charge a toll to use restraining order?
Has your timetable changed in any way in terms of ending this conflict?
No, it's going on. Just right now, there's no fighting. Right now, we have a blockade. They're doing no business. I didn't like seeing boats come out if they were doing business with Iran, but if they weren't, no boats came out. So now Iran is doing absolutely no business, and we're going to keep it that way very easily. Don't forget, their Navy is gone, their Air Force is gone, their anti-aircraft is gone, their radar is gone, and their leaders are gone. That's a lot.
Do you still want to charge a toll?
Reports coming from predominantly going to China, Mr. President. Has Xi Jinping reached out? I know you're going to be...
No, but we have a very good relationship with China. He would like to see this ended also. He certainly wants it ended. Everyone, I want to see it ended too, but we can't give a nuclear weapon to a group of people that have caused nothing but havoc for 47 years. Look, I'm the president that's done something about it. This should have been, and many other presidents regret that they didn't. You know, so I'm doing something about it.
Ukraine impeachment documents that were just declassified show that Eric Charanella not only submitted false information, but that he had no direct knowledge of the alleged conversation. It was all hearsay. Do you feel vindicated by those?
Yeah, I do. They're a bunch of crooked people. You're talking about with respect to all of the things that they put against me? Yeah. Well, it's come out that in so many different ways. Thank you very much for that question. I appreciate it. But in so many different ways, the election was rigged. The 2020 election was rigged. We found that out. What you just said is just a piece of that. It's a big piece, but minor, relatively speaking, compared to what they did. They cheated in the election. They cheated on the vote. They cheated in every way possible, and it's the only way we got an incompetent man to be a president. And he was an incompetent man. Many of the things that we're talking about, even including this would have been settled a long time ago, not now. And it should have been settled by other presidents. But the election was a rigged election. We can't let that happen to our country.
It's concealment of exculpatory information. What should happen?
Well, it's a very serious charge against them and the Democrats. They cheat. They can't get elected with their policy. So their policy is no good. They want to have, open borders. They want to have men playing in women's sport. Do you think that men should play in women's sports?
I really don't have an opinion on that.
You don't? I'll bet you do.
No, I'm here about
Pizza.
no tax on tips.
Yeah. Okay.
Mr. President, maybe some of your names that you delivered to the White House before?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Is it your understanding that during this period of time, while the U.S. has instituted this naval blockade, that oil companies will be able to send their oil tankers through the strait, get more oil out from this area?
Yeah, I think they're going to be doing very well there, and I think they're doing very well here. You know, a lot of tankers are coming up here. They're coming in empty and out full. And we have a great capacity to take care of that business.
Ma'am, may we know your name, please? Have you delivered to the White House before?
I have not. My name is Sharon Simmons.
And are the White House good tippers? Do you know?
Wait.
Potentially. Yes, very.
Mr. President, can I ask you something
That's
about
good.
Cuba?
Thank you. You reminded me.
Mr. President, one on Cuba, sir. You previously said that you had no problem with countries sending fuel to Cuba after previously promising to tariff them. What happened? What changed?
Well, we're going to see with Cuba. Cuba's another story. Cuba's been a terribly run country for a long time. It's got a bad system. It's been very oppressive, as you know. And we have a lot of great Cuban Americans, all of whom just about voted for me. And they were treated very badly. In many cases, family members have been killed. They've been beaten up and mugged, and like terrible things happen in Cuba. And Cuba's a failing nation. And we're going to do this. And we may stop by Cuba after we're finished with this. But Cuba is a nation that was just been horribly run for many years by Castro.
You said may stop by
Housing regulator Bill Pulte, regarding those two recent referrals for Letitia James for insurance fraud. Do you know if federal prosecutors have evidence to charge?
Well, I don't know. I know she's a very corrupt person. And you're talking about the so-called Attorney General of New York. She's a very corrupt person. That's been proven now. And I know I have nothing to do with it, but they're looking at things all over the place, more than one state, concerning her and concerning people like Comey, who's a dirty cop. Comey's a dirty cop, and dirty cops are bad. Nobody likes the police more than me, the law enforcement more than me, but Comey's a totally dirty cop, and we're not gonna stand for it. Yeah.
The UFC fight that's happening at the White House this summer, UFC typically numbers those fights consecutively, but should they label this one UFC 1776?
That's a good idea. I'll tell that to Dana White. I like that idea, actually. I will say I've been involved with a lot of big events. I have never had an event that's had more interest than the UFC fight that we have right at the front door. Right there, they're going to start building about a 4,500 seat arena. And then in the back, at the Ellipse, we're going to have maybe 100,000, 50 to 100,000 people, I guess. They're building tremendous stages, and you're going to have massive screens of the fight. And it's a very popular sport. But I have never been involved, because of the White House and everything. There's a lot of reasons for it. But we're having a fight at the White House on June 14th, and we're going to have an arena built right at the front door.
Wow.
And if you want, is your husband up to coming, you think? Does he like UFC?
He might.
If he's feeling good, we'll make sure you come, okay?
That would be wonderful.
That's
Thank
better
you.
than the tip I just gave you, I'll tell you. That's a lot better. But no, if he's feeling good, right?
Yeah.
Is he doing okay? Is he going to be okay?
He's doing very well. He's doing very well. He actually, during the process, he wrote a book. And
Go ahead, give him the name. Maybe you'll
he hasn't had it published yet, but it's a book on humility, and his name is Leo, and he's just
good guy.
doing good. He's doing great.
How long are you married?
We have been married for 6 years.
Oh, that's
But
good.
we've,
Okay.
like most people, we've been together for over 10. So
That's very good.
Yeah.
Well, that's very nice to say hello to him. He's going to be good. Okay, he's going to get better, and he's going to be good.
yes, sir.
Good.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
I want to thank you all, and I especially want to thank you for being here.
Well, I want to thank you
Thank you very
for
much.
the no tax on tips.
So that's good.
It has helped my family out immensely, and I definitely appreciate it. Thank
That's
you.
so nice. The one thing that I just in leaving, we've had more good press for a change, having to do with the fact that people are receiving more money from their tax refunds than they ever thought possible. We had a man the other day got $5,000. Another one got $7,000. They weren't expecting anything like this, and it's because of the great, big, beautiful bill. And that's why you came, and I really appreciate it. And tell your husband to get better.
I will.
And if he's feeling good, you'll come up and you'll watch that fight.
All
okay,
right.
June 14th.
I appreciate it.
All
Thank
right?
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so
Take
much.
care of yourself.
Thank you.
Any update on
Thank you.
DOJ, though,
Thank
Mr.
you.
President?
Your reaction
You
to
went to
Viktor
lead
Orban?
DOJ. Any update on who you went to lead DOJ? Who you're going to nominate?
Well, I think Todd, as far as doing a fantastic job, I will say that. He's a great lawyer. I know that because he's been with me a long time. And so far, he's doing a great job. But we have incredible people in the DOJ, getting better all the time. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, sir.
You want to come in for a second? Come on in.
Thank you.
Alrighty, that was earlier today, President Donald Trump delivering unexpected remarks from the Oval Office. As you see there, that sign that is actually from the Trump administration, put there, designed there by President Trump, the Oval Office sign you just saw there. Now a live look from outside the White House after he made remarks with that DoorDasher. This comes as Thursday. I believe there is going to be a round table in Las Vegas on no tax on tips. You saw her there speaking to the president. Okay, want to update you if you have not been updated on any of the news out of the war in Iran. We'll start you off with this quote from the president. President Donald Trump taking to Truth Social over the weekend. Give me one moment, you guys. Taking to Truth Social over the weekend to say the United States announced the United States plan to blockade ships entering or exiting Iranian ports on April 13th, which is Monday today at 9 a.m. Central Time. That has now begun, at least according to our sources. So I want to get you right now to the Strait of Hormuz traffic. Excuse me, there, and I wish I can't really draw on the screen, but that little curve there is the Strait of Hormuz, where you see almost no boats, and then you have kind of boats diverting around the Strait of Hormuz. You'll kind of notice there. I want to play a video that I actually played for you guys on Friday, but I'm going to play it again just for those joining us. It kind of explains how the Strait of Hormuz works. It's more focused on tolls, but it also shows how the strait works. So this is America's Newsroom on Fox News. I want to play that for you real quick here.
Think about 4 or 5 things on this first map here. Number one, the country of Oman, and then UAE, and then Iran over here, and in between this area is the Strait of Hormuz. Okay, so that's the balance that we look at right now. This is what we believed happened in the Strait of Hormuz over the past 24 hours. April 7th to April 8th. Today's the 9th of April. I count 10, maybe 11 cargo ships and tankers that have gone through the Strait of Hormuz. And what you see in green are those entering the Strait of Hormuz. What you see in yellow is those exiting. On a normal day, before this war started, some 40 days ago, you would have 100 ocean liners going through the Strait of Hormuz. Remember, 24-hour period, it's 9, maybe 10 over that 2-day period, April 7 and April 8, all right? Here is the old track, all right, from the Gulf of Oman, right, off the coast of Oman. Iran is over here, and then in turn, the tankers would come this way as well. What Iran is doing right now is they're diverting these ships to come closer to its shoreline. We talk a lot about these islands that Iran has, that owns right now. That's like Larak Island. This is Kamesh over here, a larger island. So what the Iranians are doing is they're diverting traffic this way so they can hopefully, they believe, at least they say it publicly, collect that toll in either cryptocurrency or Chinese yuan. That's the strategy on behalf of the Iranians today.
So there you go, a little bit of an explainer there on the Strait of Hormuz. Hopefully that helped you just a little bit here. So last time I spoke to you guys, there were conversations ongoing for this war to come to an end. Well, it is now sharply escalated, again after a brief attempt at diplomacy. A temporary ceasefire reached earlier in April has effectively broken down. Vice President J.D. Vance was there in Islamabad, Pakistan, excuse me. Sorry, couldn't think of off the top of my head there. He is now since came back to the United States, and as those peace talks kind of fell apart. So again, that ceasefire that we kind of heard about last week, we reported on very deeply earlier last week. Well, that's now fallen apart. And in response, the United States has now launched a naval blockade on Iranian ports and shipping routes, especially around the Strait of Hormuz, which is a critical passage for global oil supplies. As we know, we've seen it right here in the United States with gas prices rising so significantly because of this war. So the U.S. now warning it could target ports and vessels across the Persian Gulf, raising fears of a wider regional war. At the same time, fighting tied to broader conflict, including, the clashes by Iran-backed groups such as Hezbollah in Lebanon. You also have the Houthis in Yemen. Now that's continuing to go on. So want to get you up to date on where gas prices stand right now. They have gone down, but after we've learned, of course, that the ceasefire has now fallen apart in the front of our faces, could they go up again? So right now, 412 is that average. That's down from where it was on Friday, which was 416, 364 in Arkansas, also down 378 right here in Jonesboro. And I can tell you it cost me $60 to fill up my car last time I did. So there we go. AAA, our source of that. And we're going to continue to bring you gas prices every day that we have an update. JD Vance talking on making some remarks on where peace talks stood on this was yesterday. Take a listen.
I'll go into all the details because I don't want to negotiate in public after we negotiated for 21 hours in private. But the simple fact is that we need to see an affirmative commitment that they will not seek a nuclear weapon, and they will not seek the tools that would enable them to quickly achieve a nuclear weapon. That is the core goal of the President of the United States, and that's what we've tried to achieve through these negotiations. Again, their nuclear program, such as it is, the enrichment facilities that they had before, they've been destroyed. But the simple question is, do we see a fundamental commitment of will for the Iranians not to develop a nuclear weapon, not just now, not just 2 years from now, but for the long term? We haven't seen that yet. We hope that we will. Jen.
Was there a framework on anything? And also, did the Iranian frozen assets come up? And did you reach any conclusions on those frozen assets?
We talked about all those issues, Jen, and we talked about a number of issues beyond that. And so certainly those things came up. But again,
reports that there were multiple rounds where there were breaks in between negotiations. How often did you communicate with the president throughout those rounds, and what was he saying as you were going through these negotiations that you said fell short?
Yeah, obviously we were talking to the president consistently. I don't know how many times we talked to him, a half dozen times, a dozen times over the past 21 hours. We obviously also talked to Admiral Cooper, to Pete, to Marco, to the entire national security team. We talked to Scott Bessent a number of times. So look, we were constantly in communication with the team because we were negotiating in good faith. And we leave here with a very simple proposal, a method of understanding that is our final and best offer.
Alrighty there. Back at live at the White House there. Negotiations were ongoing. But again, they have fallen apart. You see there Vice President JD Vance pointing out, he didn't want to negotiate in public. So we'll have to see what the effects as this continues to go on are going to be. I was reading some analysis from the Gas Buddy guy who you can find on X. He pointed out that Florida, I believe it was one of those that saw the highest spike in gas prices when this war began. So that's going to be a state to watch when we talk simply about fuel prices, because that is kind of the direct effect that it is having on the American people, is these increased fuel prices, all as crude oil now rises to $107 a barrel. If you remember a few weeks ago, I remember reporting that it was below $100 a barrel, and it was the first time since this conflict had began. Therefore, it was surprising. Now the ceasefire falls apart, and we're back to where we started. Alrighty, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, an update on Artemis 2. Not only that, we will bring you Eric Swalwell. He has announced that he is dropping out of the race to become the next governor of California. What we now know about that amid the major allegations made against him. Welcome back into Brookland News Live. Look there at a press conference from just a few weeks ago that we carried a clip of, actually, on Eric Swalwell, as he is now, we're now learning he has suspended his campaign for governor of California. This comes as major allegations have emerged from a former staffer who accused him of rape, an allegation at this point he denies. Now, the reports led to a rapid collapse of his campaign, with staff resigning and major Democratic allies withdrawing their support. Authorities in New York and California are both now reviewing the allegations. We're also learning of additional women that have accused Swalwell of inappropriate behavior. Now, following his exit from the race, prominent Democrats and former staffers are calling him to resign from Congress as the governor's race now moves forward without him. We're also now learning the House of Representatives, where he currently serves, is now opened a probe into the investigations. Now, I want to play, this is the statement Swalwell released announcing that he would be suspending his campaign. Reading that last paragraph there, he says, quote, "I will fight the serious false allegations that have been made, but that's my fight, not a campaign's." I want to play a video that Swalwell released on Instagram.
A lot has been said about me today through anonymous allegations, and I thought it was important that you see and hear from me directly. These allegations of sexual assault are flat false. They are absolutely false. They did not happen. They have never happened. And I will fight them with everything that I have. They also come on the eve of an election where I have been the frontrunner candidate for governor in California. I do not suggest to you in any way that I'm perfect or that I'm a saint. I have certainly made mistakes in judgment in my past, but those mistakes are between me and my wife. And to her, I apologize deeply for putting her in this position. I also apologize to you if in any way you have doubted your support for me. But I think you know who I am. For over 20 years, I have served the public as a city councilman, as a member of Congress, and as a prosecutor who went to court on behalf of victims, particularly on behalf of sexual assault victims. That's who I am and have always been. This weekend, I'm going to spend time with my family and friends, and I appreciate those who have reached out to me to show support, and I look forward to updating you very soon.
Yeah, Eric Swalwell there responding to those major allegations made against him. Again, ending his campaign now. The House of Representatives, where he serves part of the state of California, now looking into those major allegations by a former staffer and other. In other headlines over the weekend, I should say late Friday after we had gotten off the air, Artemis 2 making splashdown in the ocean. Excuse me. Want to play a piece of that landing here, and then we're going to play a recap that NASA has since released of the mission. Take a listen.
And we have confirmation of crew module, service module separation. And we have crossed the threshold, now entering the Earth's atmosphere.
So again, this video is going to be
400,000 feet, traveling 34,800 feet per second.
This video is going to be similar to how we've done it before, where sometimes they're talking, sometimes they're not, and we're going to kind of talk over it as if they're not, but we're going to keep listening and note to these key pieces.
And Houston, we're visual 2 drogues out the window.
2 good drogue chutes. Next up.
We copy, we see them.
Next up, the deployment of pilot parachutes that will pull the main chutes out.
And I'll pause it here, because what I was watching, that I noticed here when I was watching this video, is you can see the ocean in the distance, yet as they are flying down, you would think they would hit the ocean quicker, but we still have 1 minute and 53 seconds left until we get to that
Time
point.
to splash down 3 minutes and 10 seconds.
You see it there, 3 minutes and 10 seconds until full splashdown. That just shows you how long this goes on, and even though you can see the ocean, they're yet so far away still, even as they travel upwards of 35,000
Perfect descent rate according to flight dynamics.
miles.
On 2 drogues.
We see the same on board.
Passing through 10,000 feet, still on drogues.
Closer and closer here as those parachutes continue to hang on as Artemis 2 makes their splashdown late Friday. And there we go.
Main chute deploy. We're at 5,000 feet.
Landing is
Search
soon
and
for
recovery
those 3
beacon has been activated on integrity.
4 astronauts, excuse me, here.
And we have 3 good main chutes. Good 3 main chutes, good reefing, good descent rate.
Good rates, and we see 3 good-looking parachutes.
Houston, integrity, splashdown, sending post-landing command now.
Splashdown confirmed.
Copy splashdown, waiting on VLDR.
Splashdown confirmed at 7:07 p.m. Central Time, 5:07 p.m. Pacific Time.
Alrighty, there you go. That was splashdown. I believe in images released later, you're able to see the heat damage, and that was one of the things that we had actually talked about live on the air, is how one thing they had to perfect is on the re-entry to Earth, evenly distribute that heat. And I believe we played a CNN report for that. That might have been back on Friday. I want to play you now a recap that NASA has since released on this entire mission from beginning to end. Take a listen.
Taking their first steps outside for their historic test flight.
4 brave explorers ready to ride the most powerful rocket NASA has ever launched.
Reed, Victor, Christina, and Jeremy.
We are going for our families.
We are going for our teammates.
We are going for all humanity.
Engines lit. 4, 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition. And liftoff. The crew of Artemis 2 now bound for the moon.
Houston integrity, great view.
This is a test flight, and so every single system aboard Orion is getting tested by humans for the first time. That is Earth in the center of your screen from the Orion spacecraft, looking back at all of us.
Houston is go for TLI.
With this bird to the moon, we do not leave Earth, we choose it.
The 4 of us have looked at this moon our entire lives, and the way we are responding to what we are seeing out the window, it's just like we're a bunch of little kids up here. We cannot get enough of this.
That is something we have never seen before.
It's hard to wrap your mind around. I mean that sincerely. It really bends your mind.
As we prepare to go out of radio communication, to all of you down there on Earth and around Earth, we love you from the moon.
Just seeing Tycho, there's mountains to the north. You can see Copernicus, Rainier Gamma. It's just everything from the training, but in 3 dimension and absolutely unbelievable.
Kathy Moonjoy. Superlative thumbs up.
We just went sci-fi.
I think there is enough for all. The purpose of humanity is joy and lifting one another up, creating together.
This is a whole bunch of nothing, this thing we call the universe. You have this oasis, this beautiful place that we get to exist together.
Well, I'll tell you, I mean, after ignition, to me, the moment that I'm going to be most excited for is splashdown. There's no question about that. Good shoots coming down off the West Coast.
And there go the first series of parachutes.
And Houston, we're visual 2 drones out the window.
Main chute deployed.
We most importantly choose this moment to challenge this generation and in the next to make sure this record is not long-lived.
This is a relay race.
It takes an army to pull a mission together like this, right? Across all 10 of our centers, all of our commercial partners, the international partners that come together to make this possible. An incredible mission, that is one thing for sure, and a lot of history made there by Artemis 2 and NASA, and a great video by NASA's video team. Now, those astronauts did speak for the first time, not for the first time, I should say, after landing, but rather at a press conference since they landed. I want to play a few clips from it. Take a listen.
The human experience that is extraordinary for us, and it sounds like maybe for you too. And so I think I'll start with gratitude. Gratitude for my family, gratitude for NASA, for its leadership, gratitude for Canadian Space Agency, gratitude pour les Canadiens et les Canadiennes, et j'ai hâte de pouvoir revenir avec Reed, Christina, Victor, au Canada. Gratitude for the bravery and the courage for the teams to be no-go when we were no-go and go when we were go. That took a lot. And I don't think people will really ever fully comprehend how well supported and trained we were. It is almost unbelievable. All right, and as my daughter would say, I'll try and stay locked in here.
When we saw Tiny Earth, people asked our crew what impressions we had. And honestly, what struck me wasn't necessarily just Earth, it was all the blackness around it. Earth was just this lifeboat hanging undisturbingly in the universe. Uh-oh. So I may have not learned, I know I haven't learned, everything that this journey has yet to teach me. But there's one new thing I know, and that is, planet Earth, you are a crew. Thank you.
Wow, and that sure does deserve a round of applause. Planet Earth, you are a crew. Artemis 2, a mission lots of people will never forget. That is going to do it for this segment. We're taking a quick break. When we come back, Pope Leo, President Trump now sharing jabs at each other online and in prayer. We've talked about this previously. Now President Trump taking a direct hit towards Pope Leo. We're going to talk about it and now Pope Leo's response when we come back. And we're also going to have a look at your forecast later this hour. You're watching Brooklyn News Live on this Monday. Welcome back here in the Brooklyn News Live. You're taking a look at the DoorDash grandma, as her shirt said during that press conference we watched a few moments ago, delivering 2 large McDonald's bags to the White House. We have just learned moments ago what was inside those bags, and we know it was McDonald's, but we know that it was ordered by the president, and the president graciously, according to the White House here, gave this food to his West Wing staff, who greatly enjoyed the cheeseburgers and fries. Now, Stephen Chung, over at the White House, posted to social media eating the burger, saying, "Couldn't wait, had to dig in." He serves as the assistant to the president and White House director of communications there. So you see that video at the moment she delivered the food, and then the press conference that came after it that we played for you at the beginning of the hour. President Donald Trump, in a lengthy Truth Social post, taking jabs at Pope Leo, a direct one this time, calling him weak on crime and terrible for foreign policy.
Pope Leo now responding to this lengthy post. Not only that, you also heard President Trump in the press conference, if we take you right back to this feed, that when he spoke to the press there, he also said he liked his brother Louis better, who according to the president, is a MAGA supporter. Now, Pope Leo is responding to that lengthy post by President Trump. Want to play this for you. This is Pope Leo responding now to that lengthy post.
Of the gospel is very clear. Blessed are the peacemakers. I will not shy away from announcing the message of the gospel, of inviting all people to look for ways of building bridges for peace and reconciliation, of looking for ways to avoid war anytime that's possible. To put my message on the same plane as what the president has attempted to do here, I think is not understanding what the message of the gospel is. And sorry to hear that, but I will continue on what I believe is the mission of the church in the world today.
I do not look at my role as being politician. I don't want to get into a debate with him. I don't think that the message of the gospel is meant to be abused in the way that some people are doing. And I will continue to speak out loud against war, looking to promote peace, promoting dialogue and multilateral relationships among the states, to look for just solutions to problems. Too many people are suffering in the world today. Too many innocent people are being killed. And I think someone has to stand up and say, there's a better way to do this.
I think somebody has to stand up and say there is a better way to do this. That is Pope Leo's message there to President Trump on this war in Iran. As we brought you this story earlier, and Pope Leo specifically in prayer taking kind of jabs at President Trump and saying peace is where things need to be. He says in that video we just played for you, Pope Leo saying he will not shy away from sharing the message of God and which he believes in. Not only that, but the mission of the church. So Pope Leo, they're responding to that post by President Trump. Right now, live there in Brookland, we're going to bring you your forecast right after this quick break. You're watching Brooklyn News Live. Alrighty, a continued live look there in Brooklyn as traffic passes at Highway 49 and School Street. Forecast doesn't look to be that bad. Wednesday, cloudy skies with the chance of some scattered thunderstorms. We're going to talk about that here. Tonight, though, cloudy skies continue, as you saw there on that RDOT camera from here in Brooklyn. Low of 68 as we go into tonight. A high of 87. Low of 68 for Tuesday. Cloudy skies remain. It's going to get hotter, though, than it was today. By Wednesday, again, that chance of scattered thunderstorms we're going to be watching to see what that ultimately it's going to bring us. But a high of 85 and a low of 68. So a story to continue to follow. In the meantime, remember to follow us on all of our social media pages that have been scrolling this entire live stream on the bottom of your screen. Go to brooklandnews.com for more of the local outlook on things. And join us each and every weekday at 2 p.m. Thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your Monday. We're back tomorrow.